In the beginning, when one starts to meditate, it can be very easy to fall back into thinking, not being aware of what's happening externally within the environment. Now, you see, anything within the environment will set off a thought because we are beings with senses. And the sixth sense organ, the brain, is the one that interprets all of the senses that come in. Your sense of sight, you're looking, the brain interprets what it's seeing. Your sense of hearing, you're listening, the brain interprets what's heard based on experience, what you've been told. You smell, again, labels come up. That smells like shit. That smells lovely. It's just there. The brain is the thing that labels it. Touching as well, all of the five senses, all of them. Taste. It seems that the scandal of taste has gotten a bit out of control these days by the large obesity rate. And, there's such foods as like wheat, which is poison, sugar, which is poison. If you cut out wheat, it's straight away out of your diet. And it can be difficult, but it can be done. Put in the effort, 3 days, and then it becomes easier. But your health will dramatically improve and everything, it will help within your life. So all of these scandals, all of these sense organs, and the brain included, has a purpose. However, when we're meditating, when one is sitting observing the brain interpret what's going on around you while you're sitting, what can happen is, and this may be more subtle, because it can be subtle, some things you will note straight away. Others take a little bit. So you're sitting, observing, watching thoughts come up, watching thoughts go, but you're still aware of everything else. This is just down here. You're aware of it. It's not very loud. Your attention, you're out here. You're out here in yourself. And then there may be a smell coming on the breeze. Watch what the brain does. Instantly, and it may, for some people it might not, instantly a label will come up which is produced in the brain. It's lamb. It smells like roast lamb. You see, this thought comes up. It's okay, it doesn't matter. But from here, it can slip, or we can slip into thinking, or slip into a little bit less awareness of what's going on, and forget what's really going on out here. This is common. This is basically how people are these days. And that's fine, but people can be different, I suppose. Say the roast lamb smell, and from that you might remember back to childhood, or more thoughts come up about childhood. Oh, childhood, and a specific occasion that happens within childhood. Now we're going down another path, and within that specific memory jogs another memory. Now we're going down this path, and all the while we're sitting here entertaining thought, entertaining thought, until somehow there is a shift in perception, and the shift moves from absorbed within thinking to aware of thinking and everything else that's going on. So all of these associations is something that you can become aware of, because they can send people down endless paths which don't need to be traveled. And associations, they can be tricky, because you walk outside onto the road, there's all of this stuff happening, and the brain's seeing it all, or the body, the brain is interpreting it all through those five sense organs. So imagine when we're watching mind, ego, we first watch it, then we start to realize that, oh, it's not us. And things become a little bit easier. There's still hardships, but it's easier. And going back to the senses, there's a lot when you walk out onto the street. There's a lot to see. There's cars, there's colours, all of these labels that come up within the brain, and you're just observing them. So it can be tricky, and this is why we sit or meditate. Come back to our senses, observe what the brain is doing, as awareness. And you're sitting there, or you're not sitting, but there is observation, there is being, and within that being, everything is still happening. But there's no attachment to what is happening. It's more observation of what's happening. And we become at one with things again. There's no sense of separation. There's just a wholeness. So again, when we're watching, watch for all those associations that come up. Like I said, they can come up through any of the five sense organs, the nose, smelling, the eyes, visual, looking, the ears, hearing, taste, and touch, sense, feeling with hands, or anything brushing against the skin internally as well. You can go into your organs, go into your bones. This whole form is made up of trillions of cells, and each cell has an intellect of its own. So we don't really need to be controlling this body, because that's being taken care of. So you may as well be the experience, because we don't have to concern ourselves with that. The ego will concern itself with that, but if we're just watching it, and it might not even be there for some people, there might just be quietness.